Got to give the people what they want. All right, people, I messed up the last video, so now I got to do it again. So I had a much better song, but my bad, we got to go. All right, do number one. Go ahead and do number one in your notebooks right now, and then we're going to check and see if you did it right. Boom, boom, boom. So you paused, you did number one. Now let's check, see what I would do. All right, so I'm going to find a nice little spot. I'm going to use this spot right here. That's going to have an x and y value of x is 4 and y is -1. Okay, so let's go ahead and build this. So far I know that the function family is parabola, so it's x squared. So it's x squared, right? I can see that I've been moved so I've been moved over one spot. So I moved 1 to the right, so that's -1. I moved up 2 spots, so that's a +2. Now we got to figure out our a value. Off the bat, I should know my a value is negative because the parabola is flipped upside down. All right, let's build a Gemma table, see what we got. X, boom, boom. So if I'm going to build this following Gemma grouping, so x inside that grouping, I got to do -1. That gives me x -1. Next is exponents. So I got to take that and I got to square it. So that gives me x -1 squared. Next is multiplying or dividing. So that's where I get times a. So I have something, because I don't know what a is, times x -1 squared. And finally, I gotta check my adding and subtracting. I end up with a +2. So I have something that I don't know, times x -1 squared plus 2. All right, now I've built my Gemma table. Now I'm gonna use any point on this line. I just gotta find a pretty one. So this is a pretty one. I could use this one. I'll end up with the same answers. Anything else on here look pretty? Those two look the most perfect. So let's use those two. Okay, so let's see. It says x is 4 and y is -1. So x is 4, y is -1. Let's start to see what we have. So I could go backwards from here. -1, this says +2. So if I'm going backwards, I'm going to do a -2. So that becomes -3. And I put an x in for that. My bad, y'all. This should say 4, right? So I could do 4 - 1 is 3. 3 squared is 9, okay? So now I see here, I have to go from a 9 to a -3. So 9 times a, right? 9 times this a is going to have to equal -3. All right? So divide by 9, divide by 9. A equals -1/3, right? We knew it should be negative, and it's -1/3, which is making it a little bit fatter than normal, okay? So it's compressing it. So A equals -1/3. So now my equation will say y equals -1/3 times x -1 squared plus 2. There is that entire problem for number 1. That's your equation. All right. I'm going to erase this for number 1. You're not going to erase it because you're in a notebook, but I am because I'm on this screen right here. Now why don't you pause and write me the equation and do everything you think you're supposed to do for number 2. All right, cool. You paused it, you made it happen. Let's see what we have here. So again, I'm thinking, okay, let me find some good spots. This spot looks really pretty right here. And that is the spot where x is 2 and y is -3. So I'm going to use that, okay? I could have used this one, but I didn't want to. I wanted to use that one. So let's build this thing. What's my function family? So my function family is x squared. And I see this thing, the vertex is sitting about right here. So I got to go to the left 2, excuse me. So plus 2 and up 1. That's a plus 1 and that's a times a. Again, my a should be negative because this is opening downwards. It's probably going to be a fraction because that looks like it's fatter than the regular parabola. But let's find out. I don't know. So now let me build the Gemma table. And follow. So, boom, boom, boom. I start with x. I got to go plus 2. That gives me x plus 2. There's my grouping. My exponents are next, so I got to take that to the second power. X plus 2 to the second power. Exponents are done. Multiplying or dividing, that means I need to go times a. So this is a times x plus 2 squared. And finally, I need to go adding or subtracting. That's going to give me the plus 1. Now this is kind of smushed in here, so I'm going to move my stuff over. But hopefully you left space in your notebooks. So I just moved mine over. Plus 1, you can see it still. Yeah, you can. All right, so this is going to leave me with the a value times x plus 2 squared plus 1. There's my complete Gemma table. What did I have from here? I have x is 2 and y is negative 3. So let's do that. X is 2, y is negative 3. All right, so let's start going forward. 2 plus 2 is 4. 4 squared is 16. 16 times a, can't do it because I don't know. Negative 3, since I'm going backwards and the top said plus 1, I'm going to go negative 3 minus 1 is negative 4. This is looking like it's going to work out pretty nice. So now what I know is 16 times a has to equal negative 4. Right? So 16 times a equals negative 4. Divide by 16. Divide by 16. A equals negative. Divide by 4. Divide by 4. What's that? Negative 1/4. 1/4. Negative 1/4. Negative 1/4. So my answer becomes y equals negative 1/4 times x plus 2 squared plus 1. All right, y'all. Work those two out. Look at how I did it. Make sure you're good. There's a decent chance we're taking a test on this tomorrow that we'll have half a class of practice and then take a test. But we'll see how we've done in class on the previous day. All right, Mr. Bass, I'm out. Peace.